Alycia.
She's got lotion.
So girl, my skin, it's like I put like stuff on my skin, it's like it just goes away. Well, it's fine. No, the season is changing.
Well, you don't even understand the pollen that's been around. Yeah, it's creature they study your day.
I'm impressed. It's clinics.
But I love you for saying that. So I was invited. I have no idea what they chose me, but they invited me to a panel.
Who's that?
The Center for Excellence for Entrepreneurship.
It was the city of Birmingham and region.
Yes. And so one of the young ladies who works there came to our workshop. And she was like, I thought of you and I really wanted you to be on this panel because you've been a business owner for a decade and whatever. And so when I get there, this magnetic ray of sunshine was our host. And she was the facilitator. She was asking all the interview questions. And she was like, I'm going to keep it casual. And I was like, I already love you. I'm obsessed. Whatever you're doing. Like, I was trying not to make it weird. I was like, let's all take a picture, but really I wanted just a picture. Insane. And it was about this. But then, fast forward. So she facilitates. Then I go sit down with her because I just liked her so much. And I was like, can I have coffee? I want to come to your place, which I'll let you tell us what you do. And we laughed and cried.
Yep.
And probably could have sat there all day. I just am obsessed with you.
You faggot somebody else.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
I'm
sorry you had to find out this way.
One thing.
But crying is so deep. And I apologize.
It's really
about
our
that.
thing.
She also for my birthday this year, so it's kind of 2 strikes in the month of March. So that's okay. Keep going.
All right, well, it's April 1st, so it's time to move the fuck on.
That was Megan for Fool's joke. It's over.
Okay, all right. Tell us about you.
That's such a loaded question. So where do I start? I'll start.
Your whole name.
Birth. Your social security number. I'll start here. So my name is Alycia Levels-Moore. I was
Born in upstate New York. I was raised in East Atlanta. I'm now in Birmingham, and I'm kind of like in my mind, I'm a global citizen. And so, but the work I do and how we connect it is I really focus on economic development and community development. And a lot of times people need to know what that means. But I just always had this thing for why does this neighborhood look like this? Why do these group of entrepreneurs not have this? And so what is that? And in my journey to understand, I learned about community economic development. And so my main goal is to really help crack open the potential of the people. And that just happens to fall under economic development. And so our main goal is to support business owners, entrepreneurs to grow, to scale. And ultimately, because I have 4 kids that live here, to grow the economy in Alabama, because that matters, right? And states and economies, they don't work without business owners, without entrepreneurs, without thinkers and doers and problem solvers. And so my whole mission is just to support them, to help them, because everybody has something, right? But a lot of times if that gift is not in the right environment, it really doesn't get the water it needs to grow. And so I'm just kind of like the water vase. I'm just like, hey, you can do it. Come on, stop playing. Don't play with me.
But you really are water for the soul. Yeah. I'm telling you, I love that conversation. I was like, wow, she is never getting rid of me.
I can test you hey, what you doing? Because it was just so much, and there was it felt very kindred, right? In terms of just life experiences, how you navigate challenges. And it doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is. My grandmother, Maya Angelou, used to tell me all the time that we're more alike than we are different. And I don't know why you guys are laughing because she's a really my grandmother. I love her so much. She taught me so much.
That is also a quote that came from that first initial meeting. And I was like, I love that you just said Maya Angelou is your grandma.
Because sometimes in life, you can't really pick your family, but you can definitely create them in your imagination. That's what I've done. But I just collected people to help me get through this pain. And so,
but you have to do that. I think as adults have family of choice. Whether you know them or not, that's okay.
Yeah.
Do you like Birmingham better than Atlanta?
Well, I wouldn't say better, but I think one of the things I was able to see, because every place has its own me.
For sure.
And so I think one of the things I was able to really appreciate about Birmingham with my personality is it really was a land of opportunity. There's so many things that need to be done. There's so many.
You're like, this place was a shithole. And so I really came.
I literally kept that. I did not say that. I love Birmingham. It's amazing. No, I just said that
I like the cognitive reframe. That there was a lot of opportunity. That's what we say in therapy. We're like, I want to invite you to this opportunity to change everything.
to change everything. I mean, there was a lot of opportunity. And so I think the thing I appreciate about Birmingham was that if you come in with the right mentality, beautiful that mic person. Yes, if you come with the right mentality and you have integrity, like you really can do a lot of different things. So I saw like there was just a lot of great opportunity.
So what's a day in the life with you?
Oh, that's loaded. So I have 4 kids. My oldest is 7. So there's 7.
I'm sorry.
Well, stop there.
You are in it.
I'm in it. And then it, babes.
In it.
In it.
How goes the day?
7, 5, 4, and 2. She's a psycho.
Yeah, the twos are kind of rough.
Yeah. 1 was planned and then, just kind of irresponsible.
Yeah. I mean, I have some children, not 4, but I really like them. 2's hard.
I like them. Two is cool. The 2-year-old is so I have 3 girls, 1 boy. And my boy actually came after my husband had a vasectomy.
Super healer.
Super healer. The doctor said we never seen anything like this before. His body just healed itself. We thought we were done because the man was just producing girls. And I was like, I'm done. I'm sick of it. And so, but I knew, and I told Lord this story. So, I had my first pregnancy was a miscarriage. I was devastated. I prayed. I had a dream, and the Lord showed me like a baby boy, right? And so I'm like, yeah, that's it. October of 2017. So I journaled, and I'm like, surely my next kid is gonna be a boy because the Lord said so. Girl. I'm sick of it, God. I'm done. It's like, you got it, right? And so he had a vasectomy 5 years to the date, October 2020, whatever he was born. I had a boy. And the doctor was like, he never said anything like this. His body just fused back together. So it was like, God was like, hey, the promise is the promise, no matter what you try to do about it. And so I absolutely love my son, even though sometimes he's a terror. So like 2 is tough, but he had to show up. He's my favorite son.
Yes.
It's the only Rosalie. You just breezed through something really fast that I'm gonna ask you what Gail's talking about. Navigating miscarriage and being a high performer, high capacity woman.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Reef. What you do, Reef?
Now, what are you doing on this nice, beautiful day?
With all these long machines in the background, it's great. I see that here.
That's a really good question because it was really tough. I had a really hard time. A friend of mine, she gave me a book called Heart Made Whole. And that helped me because my natural function was just to breeze past it. Just like a deadline. Okay, we have 2 weeks until this project is due. This is sprint 1 on the Project Quinn. And you got 2 weeks to get over this shit. Then move on. And my body just couldn't. My body couldn't. My heart couldn't. My emotions couldn't. It was like the lowest point. And so what I learned in that process and what I also had to take into business and entrepreneurship is sometimes you have to let yourself break. You have to fall apart. You have to let your heart break. You have to fall into a million pieces and trust that God will help you put yourself back together again. And you'll never be the same person. And that's okay. Because the person before loss or the person before grief or the person before tragedy is going to need to be a different person after. Right? And so I learned to be a different person, but it was tough because in order to allow yourself to break, you also have to be okay with going into the darkness or realize like, I can't stay here. I have to come out, And so, it was tough, but I grew so much and I learned so much about myself in business. So now in business, when stuff happens, I'm like, yeah, I survived so much. Like I'm fine. It's okay.
Yeah. But truly, that's where resilience comes from. It comes from discomfort. We talk about that a lot, that capacity building happens in the uncomfortable parts of your life when you aren't an expert.
Yep.
And I don't burn any hope. You're right. That's good. Is that loud? It feels like it was like a medium level loudest. This is how people see. Everyone is it's like the day. I know as people. We talk about that discomfort is kind of like that's where all the good stuff happens, and it's the place none of us want to be.
Yeah.
Right. What you said so many good things in that I was like, which one does I wouldn't grab? But I want to pull one thing out that you said because you've also been married for how many years?
It'll be 13 years in August.
13 years, and your husband has this like solid family unit.
Yeah.
He moved to Birmingham.
Yeah.
Solid family unit. Your family looks a little different than that.
Very much.
Okay. There's like, okay. But talk to us a little bit about the different, but really they're not watching us for sure.
Who cares? But just in case you ever find on the internet, what you do? I'm just playing.
No, but like, what's that been like? Just talk to us a little bit about
Yeah, you know, she's running a therapy session right now.
I'm not a therapist. Remember we said
Yeah, it's that's different. You know, when you come into a relationship with anybody long term, friend or like an intimate like partnership relationship, you have two imperfect people coming together trying to learn how to do life together and provide grace to each other through like the ebbs and flows, ups and downs. And I can say one thing I was just telling my husband this week. I'm really appreciative of how he's been able to show up. Like, marriage is not easy. Everybody knows that. Sometimes it's trash. Sometimes, like, you know what, Laura, I do it constantly. God bless you. Like, they'll let your future this.
She's joking. She goes with Attica.
So many.
I've had several accidents.
And listen, it happens to the best of us. I mean, it's just like, it's really like, it's like
Never
Russian
happened to
roulette.
her. Never happened to you, but thank you for validating.
It's like Russian roulette. You just never know what you're gonna get. I think, you know, I think you just kind of have, you're like, oh my God, I'm dead. And so you have like these moments, right, where depending on what your boundaries are, like some things you can take, but some things you can't, right? And so I've been fortunate with some of the stuff I can take. But it was a blessing having someone who came from had a stronger family unit. It's not a perfect one, right? But it's a more resilient one. I'll say that. And that was very healing, because sometimes when you don't get what you need in one environment, you have to be okay and open to allowing cuts to show up in that way for you. So I had to allow my mother-in-law to show up in a more mothering nurture. It took a little while, but I'm here. That's my girl, you girl. And so,
Do you let her take care of you?
I do now, yes. I do now. Because, I mean, you have to detach yourself from, like, the relationships that you wanted and, like, grieve those things. Because sometimes you, like, grieve the stuff that's still alive. Like, sometimes you think grief is just things that have ended. But it's like you can grieve things that are still very much alive because you're grieving the vision of what could have been, what you thought was going to be, what you would have hoped it to be. And you kind of have to, like, lay to rest what it really is, you know?
We talk about that. When I told her I was writing a book called Mommy Issues, yeah, she was like, and we connected a lot on and that's, I feel like you're speaking nice little language of just knowing. I always say, like, I'm more in the relationship I'm not going to have with some family members. And I think it's the limb I walk with my whole life. And it's also the one that allows me to heal other people.
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like where we get most wounded, if we can tend to ourselves and do the work, as Claire says all the time, and just make those 2-degree shifts one at a time, that eventually that becomes where we heal others. You talk a lot about your tribe and how you've got these 4 kids under 7.
Yep.
And you run multiple.
I do.
I love what you said about what do you let people do for you?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I let people show up for me. I don't mind asking for help. Help me. I'm just a girl. I got all these kids. What are you doing during that? Come watch these kids. Like, what are you doing? Help me. Like, I don't mind asking for help. Like, pick these kids up, dress these kids. Like, my son had a project at school. It's like a Black History project, and they had to be somebody from the 80s. I'm like, babes, I'm not crafty. I'm not creative in that way. Auntie, come do this project. Here's the trifold. I'm cash app and go with the markers. Dress this boy up for this project. I'm not doing that. I'm tired. You know, and so it's just like, I'm okay, even in parenting, operating in my zone of G's, right? And so it's like, I need help. I do too much to try to be, I don't want to be Superman. Second K-Possibly, ew, that hurts. I'm allergic to that.
Every woman we've interviewed in this, like, Ty could, like, have a vial of these, like, different things that if I needed a little bit of you, I would appreciate it, and that would be it. I'm like, I'll fall on every last sword until I run ragged.
It's like, no, but see, I did, and I only learned that through trying to do that and realizing how incapable I was, and it just wasn't cute. Like, I want to look cute, my skin to look good, my hair to look cute. I don't want to look like what I've been through.
You're right. And I will say I learned that when I got a divorce, and I for the other engagement. This is lies. But I had 2 little kids and we co-parent really well. But at the time it was COVID. My parents lived 2,000 miles away and I was drowning. And people kept saying, like, you're such a badass. You're such a badass. And it went from complimentary to like I didn't want to hear it anymore because I wanted somebody to show up and take care of me. Like I was empty. I was so empty. And that was probably the biggest pivot for me. And to your point, you had so many. I had to get to the darkest place to be able to like, oh wait, here's the light and this is what I'm going to do. And that's what I think strong women do for each other. It's like go to the depths of the darkness with you and like pull you out the other side. But you do have to go there over and over again. I found.
Yeah. Yeah. And then too, like, I think sometimes we don't realize it that when we show up but trying to, without showing a trace of cracking, people don't even know how to show up. So I had people that's like, I didn't know you looked fine. You look okay. I mean, your hair look all right. You got some clothes on. Like, you know, like, they're like, oh, you look okay. Because sometimes we're like, let me show up. And so people sometimes don't even know that we're desperately crying for help and just looking for someone that's like, are you okay? And so, like, but I think sometimes when you're strong like that, you do have to make sure you have a even if it's small, a circle of women who will ask you the tough question and look at you and be like, girl, stop playing with me. Because I have a friend like that. And she's like, you're here weird and I'm not into it.
We talk about friendships a ton. What would you say to women that might not have that? They have maybe like more cocktail hour friendships.
Yeah.
What would you tell them or advise them to do?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it like this. I think it's important to nurture relationships well beyond the surface level because life is happening and you cannot be like, there have been times that I just needed to wait. Like sometimes life is you don't have the words. Like all you have is angry. All you have is a word, and you need someone just to sit there, right? And you can't do that with the girls you just drinking champagne with. They're like, ugh, stop crying in my cup. Like, can you move? Like, you know, and so you have to be, but in order to have a friend, you have to be a friend. And some of us are so afraid to go beyond surface looking. It's like in order to have someone that can be vulnerable with you, you got to be vulnerable with someone else. And so everybody doesn't deserve that space. But if there's people you connect, like let them in because life is going to happen and you're going to need someone to take in hand and walk alongside you and say like, hey, like I'm with you, you know? So like just be open to be a friend. And sometimes some people don't even know what that means, right?
What does that mean?
For me, it's tough because I take friendship very seriously. I'm a Virgo. And if you cross me, we're dead to me. Do you understand? I mean it. I mean it because I know when I'm connected, I'm pouring everything I have. I'm with you. Like, a lot of my friends are out of state. If they call me right now, I would get in that car and I would go out across state line. No pressure. Get the kids, only maybe a couple of them, in the car seat and go across state. I would do it, right? So I take friendship very seriously. But defining that is, you know, I would define it from the qualities that I have, right? It's being loyal. It's being available. Is allowing grace for people because some of your closest friends, like they're going through things. So they're not going to call you every day. I don't have time to sit on the phone with you for 2 or 3 hours. If you call me, I'm there. If you need me, I'm there. Sometimes because I'm praying for you and I love you, you just pop up in my spirit. It's checking on, making sure you're okay, right? It's loyalty. It's providing grace. It's safety, right? And it's being present for the moments that matter, right? I'm having a baby. Girl, come see me. Oh, you know I got this big old diaper on. I'm tired. All this stuff coming out. Come here. Like, just sit with me. It's showing up for the moments that matter, right? Like, who can you call for the moments that matter? And then who can you call just because something funny happened? It's just like, I just need somebody to tip. Like, no one else would care about this. Yeah. I just need somebody to talk to. And that's the beauty of friendship. All of my friendships the closest ones are 20 years. Right? I just went to New York. We've known that for 20 years. Like, I get on her nerves, she on my nerves. But I'm not going nowhere.
That's Claire's. I mean, I don't know that you're thinking on your nerves. I'm saying you had a lot of longer friends. Not
she's exhausted.
Oh no, I was just saying like I don't have that same. I only have one friend that I had for 20 years, and I love her, and she's a true speaker for sure. But I went through such a radical transformation of just like needed to change the trajectory of my life. And I had to find new friends. I will say I resonate with that idea of just like you gotta do a friend to attract the right people. You have to be those things. It just said in the paper. Yes. All right. What would you say to 25-year-old Wu? What does she need to hear? I can just sort of bounce the table from her.
I'm sitting with that because I got married at 24, age 25. It was like pre-kids. I was in a new city and state. Yeah, I used to cry every day. Oh my God, what am I doing? So I'm sitting with like the woman, the young lady that I was at that time. Um, I would tell her, and this is how what everyone says, but it's like you're going to be okay. Like it's gonna work out. Like, and it may look different because I think we all kind of create like those plans in our mind. It's gonna look. We're gonna do things that you never even had a title for, but like just go with the flow. Like just trust yourself. Go with the flow. Be open to it. I was reading a book one time. He was talking about we overestimate what we can do in a year, and we underestimate what we can do in a decade. And so a lot of times we're like, yeah, this is my year. 365 days, I'm going to be a new woman. No, you're not. In 2 weeks, babe, you're going to be exhausted. But if you look at your life and you plan it in a decade, you give yourself grace. You give yourself time for the evolution of who you are, what you thought you wanted. And then when you hit that milestone, you feel a little different. And so I remember just, before planning in years and now I kind of plan in decades. And when I look at it, I'm like, you doing all right. Like, it doesn't look like, no one could have told me when I was like 21, hey, you're going to live in Alabama, first of all. Let's ship it off, please. You're going to have a gang of kids. Like, I mean, a ton of kids. Because at first, I did not want kids and I did not get married. I was like, I'm just want to be rich auntie status. Like, I come in with my fur coat. I pass out a couple of gifts and I'm like, sorry, I have to go. I'm getting ready to go on my cruise with my boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? I'm like 75. Like,
He's 80.
He's 80.
I love him.
That was like the vision. I was like, yeah, I don't have time for all of that. But as I encountered more life, my perspective started to change. My heart started to expand. And I realized I could like write my own story. I was so trapped by like what I had seen from other women before. And I had seen some women that motherhood and being a wife can make martyrdom. I was like, yuck. I don't want it. If getting a man and having kids means into my life, yuck. I don't want it. And so, but then I went to therapy and, they said, hey, do you know that you are not them and you can write your own story? So that's why I have 4 kids with 3 businesses. You said I'm crazy. And I decided,
You're like, I took what that therapist said, and I was like, I'm taking that to the bank.
I ran with it, and it was like, because this is my story and I can do what I want to do. And these kids can come into this building, they can come to this meeting. I can do whatever I want to do because this is my life. And I can eat one opportunity. Like, it's not a dress rehearsal. So, yeah, it may take a little more work, but it's mermaid. I own it.
What if we not asked you or mentioned that you need sex?
I don't know. But I guess based on the nature of like the conversation and what you all represent and what you do, I'll be able to see some new podcasts a little bit.
I think he just kind of started to see what I was just saying. Like, we as women, we have the right to create our own story and to be who you want to be. And we can change that. I'm not a tree. I can lose. If I'm doing something right now, I'll do something different tomorrow if I want to. Because who gonna tell me I can't? And so, it's like, so it's about writing your own story. I don't have to give an explanation for why I choose to do it. If I want to take these kids to this man and move to another country, I will do that.
Do you love it here? So, yeah, she did say it.
And guess what? And they're like, oh my God, you can't do that with kids. Why can't I?
Yeah.
And so it's just about like liberating your soul. Like, this is because women carry so much. We carry so much. So why am I giving an explanation for how I'm truly living my life? I can do what I want to do. I can be who I want to be. I can be every version and evolution of myself. Because that's what my grandmother, my Angela, taught me. Seriously. That was what's amazing.
Oh,
right?
You were a gift to love. Like, you literally just make everything better when you show up.
No, thank you. It's on you. That's all on the Zoom call. I was like, hey, y'all, I can't. I'm dead. Because right now you go show up for my girl.
And also you are going to have a new friend that's not 20 years.
But baby, we got time because we're gonna live.
me.
Listen,
I love you.
I love you. It's weird. We're gonna live a long life, so we got time to build up.
I'm a fangirl. I'm Alycia fan.
When you get the, what do you believe? Sweet text from her. Have you gotten a hit? Well, say it again. She'll say, well, did a random text at like 6 a.m. and I'll be like, what are you pleading this week? I'm like, free. I don't know, Laura. And but she really loves you. So you'll, so once you start,
Okay, wait.
once she's
I'm
captivated.
in the gay. I got mine the other day. She was like, hey, I was praying for you about what you told me about. Yeah.